Now, OC's cranking up the highlight machine. It's time for high school football and the WSAV Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show. Powered by OC Welch Ford Lincoln.
Welcome to the Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show. I'm Joey Lamar, joined by Kobe Zach. We had another exciting game for our game of the week, Swainsboro at Savannah Christian. This game, not to decide the region championship, but the region championship picture definitely starting to come into focus.
Yeah, and Savannah Christian, after playing kind of not what they're used to at the start of the year, they've really been rolling now under Blaze Thomas. He's had a spectacular season.
All right, let's see who would come out in this very, very critical matchup. Swainsboro ranked in the top 5 of the state for their classification, and we open up with them down 21-7, but Swainsboro on the start of the second half gets it in for the score, and it cuts it to just a one-possession game. Now it's 21-14 in favor of Savannah Christian, and Blaze Thomas goes deep, hits his guy. They bring it down to the 1-yard line, and on the very next play, they punch it in, so they go back up 2 scores. Now the Raiders up 28-13, and it's Blaze Thomas doing things with his legs. Bye. Just wave at him.
That's exactly what I was talking. Go through the air, go on the ground. Either way, he's going to end up in the end.
He was gone. All right. So Savannah Christian wins 49-19. We're going to bring in Andrew Davis, who called this game. He watched every play. Andrew, key takeaways from this matchup.
I'm going to make the joke. Blaze was on fire tonight. 196, 2 touchdowns, and 136 on the ground with a touchdown. This team was clicking on all cylinders on offense, and that's even though they lost their top running back, their freshman Wesley Dinkins, before the game and probably for the rest of the season. They knew exactly what they were doing. Swainsboro had no answers on the defensive side. Defensively, they stopped this running game, held them down to about 50 yards until it was way out of reach. Savannah Christian played up to their absolute potential tonight. And now, here's what you get in surprise. You get to go to Toombs County next week to try to play for the region title. This team believes it can win the private school title no matter what happens, but they really want to beat Toombs, especially at Toombs next week. So it'll be very interesting to see. Blaze Thomas is the best quarterback in the area that nobody is recruiting right now. And coach says they hope somebody starts to look at these tapes and realize he's got a lot more to offer. He'd like to be the next Diego Pavia after here if he could. Next week, we're headed out to Statesboro Effingham. By the way, that's for the region title. Last week of the year, and you can't ask for more than that in the Statesboro atmosphere. But right here, atmosphere perfect. Senior night went just as advertised for the Raiders. Savannah Christian with the big win. Swainsboro will be in the playoffs, but right now, it's all about the Raider love and the chances for the Raiders to take it all the way to Atlanta.
All right, thanks so much, Andrew. Great job out there. Wow, what a big win for Savannah Christian.
Yeah, I mean, also Savannah Christian now going to Toombs County in the pit. That's going to be a great game, a big game between those two teams. We also had another great game and a big game over in a brand new stadium in Richmond Hill, taking on Lowndes. This was a huge matchup. We start 0-0 in the first quarter. Lowndes driving, and the slant is going to go all the way to the house. So Richmond Hill down 7-0 after the PAT. Wildcats looking to respond. James Mobley unloads this ball to Eli Grant, who comes down with it. Thank you, with the monster catch. So now at the goal line, the Wildcats are in Wildcat, and it's going to be the running back, Amir Miller, who takes the snap and gets in for the touchdown to respond. But Richmond Hill wouldn't get much more than that. They're going to fall in this one, 49-23.
All right, let's go out to Guardian City. We had Calvary Day and Groves, and Calvary Day is back on offense. They're already up 14-0 as James Mobley is going to hit Levon Owens. Just a sophomore here, but he's been coming on strong lately. He picks up a 9-yard gain. And then we're going to go later in the drive. It's Mobley looking to throw, but he's going to decide to scramble. Picks up a huge gain. Look at those cuts. Looks like a running back, but able to get the sideline and pick up a huge first down. He puts Calvary Day in the red zone, and a couple of plays later, it's Zay Middleton who rushes in for the score. He wasn't touched on that play. Calvary Day wasn't touched at all. They cruise 48-8. A
lot of clean cuts, just like a landscaper. Moving over now, we've got another one at Savannah High. We've got Windsor Forest hosting Johnson. We're going to open at the start of the second half. Windsor Forest trailing 7-6. J.R. Rollins going to get it out to Dwayne Franklin, who makes a few defenders look silly on his way to the sideline. He's going to take that all the way in for the go-ahead touchdown. Johnson now looking to respond. Ja'Kai Wallace is going to pull the ball, and he is off, hitting the sideline, picking up a huge gain into Windsor territory. But the Adams Smashers would be pushed back, and on 4th and long, Wallace is going deep, but this one is broken up by Windsor Forest, and Windsor Forest wins this one 32-15.
Great shot by you, though, even though they didn't catch the pass. All right, let's stay in Region 3 of Class AAA. We have Jenkins and Islands. And Islands trailed 21-0 after the first half, and Jenkins' defense was a big reason why, as Ronnie Taylor and Troy Graham come up with a tackle for a loss. Later, Islands going for it on 4th down, and they're going to complete this pass, but they are stopped well short of the line to gain. And off the turnover, Jenkins went right back to work on offense. Dominic Johnson's going to take the ball down to the 1-yard line, and 2 plays later, Ryan Scott gets in for the score. Jenkins, they win the region championship 49-0.
Is that good?
That's very good. That's very
and over
good.
to Bethesda Academy. We had the region championship between Bethesda and PD Academy, but this game was just all Bethesda. When we showed up, there was a running clock already, and it was the 4th quarter. Bethesda led 43-0, and Jamari Young takes this one 62 yards to the house. It is 49-0 in the region championship. Bethesda just didn't make many mistakes tonight, but if there was one, came on this extra point, it was blocked, so the score is still 49-0 and not 50-0.
Coach not going to be happy about that. He's going to have a long talk about that
Make
one.
him run a little bit in practice, but Bethesda claims the region title. They will host a home playoff game.
All right, let's go over to Memorial Stadium. It's St. Andrews hosting Frederica Academy, and we're going to start in the first quarter with Patrick Johnson on the quarterback keeper. This was 4th down, and he's able to pick up enough yardage on the scramble to move those chains. But on the very next play, St. Andrews is going to put the ball on the ground, and it is recovered by Frederica Academy. And then they will go on a long drive themselves. Actually, it would stretch into the first play of the second quarter, and then the receiver catches the ball clearly down, gets up and scores, and it's 7-0 Frederica after the PAT as they go on to win this one 49-16.
Unbelievable. Not the time to do lunges. Usually you do those pre-game. But moving over now to Effingham County. They are taking on Glen Academy. This one got interesting right off the bat. It's 0-0. Effingham County's Jameer Doe Davis burst through a gap as he does.
What a cut.
He's done that all year. He's going to go all the way in for the touchdown to get them on the board. Glen Academy looking to respond. They're going to break out a little nice run of their own, but check out the play from Effingham's Jannard Albright to strip it at the very last second as he was going down. Rebels get it back. Effingham County looking to add to the lead. Tucker Perkins deep to Travis Hunter. That's caught, but heading into the end zone, Hunter fumbles it, and Noah Reese is there to scoop it up for 6. Just how they drew it up. Effingham County gets the win, 45-40.
The old fumble on the 1-yard line play. Yeah, everybody knows that one. All right, we've got Beach at Liberty County, and we will start off in the second quarter. Liberty County leading 7-6, and Javion Williams hands off to Jordan Newton, who steams ahead. Then after Liberty County hands off to Elijah Brown, he's going to put the ball on the ground, and it will be recovered by Rayshawn Thompson of Beach. Now, Beach on offense, and Javion Williams again is going to scramble out of the pocket. He's going to throw to a wide open receiver, Joe Thomas, for the score as Beach gets the win. This is a bit of an upset here. They beat Liberty County 18-7. Big win for Beach. All right, let's go to round 2, Kobe. I really liked what we did in the first block.
Yeah, let's do it in the second. Coming up on the Friday Night Blitz, we got more action from teams everywhere and even some 8-man football.
And we'll have our performance of the week. Did it come from PD Academy and Bethesda?
You're watching the Friday Night Blitz on WSAV. Go Cavs!
Welcome back to the WSAV Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show. Powered by O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln.
All right, come on, Kobe.
I was thinking About You by Frank Ocean, but it's probably older based on the course of the songs that we've done before.
No, this is Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Oh, I do know that. Ain't no mountain high enough. Oh, I should have got
Ain't
that.
no valley. Okay, all right, let's get to the highlights before we lose all the viewers.
Yeah, we're going to keep going. Or we get more. I don't know. That would make experiment. We're going to go to Bishop England at Bluffton. We're going to start with Bishop England has it. It's a sophomore. Chase Ton is going to find his way in for the rushing touchdown. And there's a dinosaur. And also shortly after, Bluffton stopped Bishop England in the red zone. They're going to kick a field goal to make it 17-7. And Bluffton's going to get it back on offense and do what they do. Aiden McCarthy steps up in the pockets. Going to deliver a great ball here to Roman Benjamin. They would score later in that drive, and the Bobcats would come back to win this one, 31-24.
All right, let's head out to Pinewood Christian as Bullock Academy is taking on the Gators here. And right now is Pinewood Christian receiving the ball, and JoJo Tippett is going to get the ball and run to the outside. He is free to run downfield. He's going to get the ball all the way down to the 30-yard line. Huge gain here, and a great start for Pinewood Christian. Oh, man, that's some talent right there.
Still going. Give him some oxygen.
Yeah. All right, next we have Banks Hearn. He's the quarterback. He's going to get the ball and hold on to it and run it in for a first down. And then if more Banks is good, some Banks good, more is better. He's going to toss the ball here to JoJo Tippett, and he's in for the rushing touchdown as Pinewood Christian will get the win tonight. Bullock Academy will win tonight 42-28.
Yeah, now we're going to move over to another one. We've got Lakeside at Bradwell Institute. We're going to start off with 9 minutes left, and some flips is what we're going to start off with, and then there's 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Lakeside throwing it, but this ball is tipped and picked by Bradwell. Dominic Martinez for the interception. He's going to take it back for some good yards, too. So now Bradwell on offense, and Wade Cobb is going to strike first for Bradwell with the 12-yard touchdown on the ground. This will make it 7-0 after the PAT, and Bradwell gets it back, and then later Jabari Felix is going to pitch this one to Cameron Keeves, and Keeves takes off. He's going to take this one all the way for the touchdown run, but Bradwell would fall in this one, 38-21.
All right, now let's go to Claxton. They're taking on Emmanuel County, and they start off very, very well. On the very first play, in fact, we're going to see a Tigers punt, and this ball is going to stay up in the air for a while, but eventually it's Chase Johnson who's going to let this ball bounce, and then he decides to take it for a run, and that turned out to be a very good decision. A very, very good decision, as they are in great territory, and then Jackson Kennedy is going to take it, and he finds Davis Johnson in the end zone for a touchdown for ECI, and it looks like ECI is going to win this contest as they go on to win 48-8.
Yeah, now we're going to shift over to some 8-man ball. We've got Coastal Homeschool hosting Providence Athletic Club. We're going to open with Coastal looking for a spark. They're down 6-0. And it always helps when you have plays like this. Quarterback Landon Creeley escapes the pocket, and he is off, bobbing and weaving his way for a first down and a huge gain to set
Nobody wants to tackle him.
To set up the Hurricanes. He is elusive. A few plays later, Creeley out to Alex Witt, who's going to break 2 tackles at the same time and make his way in for the touchdown. What a play, but it's Providence Athletic Club winning this one, 34-22.
All right, now we're going to go to Hilton Head taking on John Paul, and we're going to start with Chris Langhals. He's going to throw this ball in the end zone, and it's going to be caught by Merrick Barron. But that's an interception, so I still think those should be completions. However, some people say they
Someone's
shouldn't.
catching it.
Right. I mean, it wasn't, incomplete, but, it counts as an interception for them. But then it's Alan Wolf looking downfield. He finds Zachary Moulton for a first down. And then before we close out the first half, we had Sean Fallon. He's going to rise up for the pass, but it'll be broken up by the Hilton Head Christian defense. And in the end, it would be Hilton Head Christian winning 33-21.
We're going to move over to Jenkins County versus Metter, and it is halftime, and Jenkins County is going to make their way back onto the field. Jenkins County is leading this one 14-0, and it's Justin Wright up the middle. Eventually, he is taken down, but not before he gets the first down. This time, it's handed to Calvin Adams, who takes off, and he is gone all the way to the end zone to make it 21-0 after the PAT. And now Metter has it back. It's Collins Schumann who's going to pass it to Kayshawn Polk, who makes the catch, but he would be taken down before he gets the first down. And you're final in this one. Jenkins County wins it 21-14.
All right, let's go Long County Southeast Bullock. This game trying to decide that 4 seed in Region 3 or Class AAA. So a very important matchup here. And it would be Long County who would strike first. Jason Familiar with the pass. I'm sorry, that's not Jason Familiar. But Long County with the pass. You rarely see that, so they get the touchdown here. And then Long County blocks a punt. It would be recovered by Southeast Bullock, but it would be Long County's night as they win this one 43-21.
They're going to move over to another one now. We've got South Effingham. And they're taking
taking on Statesboro.
Taking on Statesboro in this one, and Statesboro on the ground is going to get the rushing touchdown.
That's
They've been playing great.
Childers, he's been really good.
They've been playing great. They've won their last few in a row. Now they're going through the air, and that's another touchdown for them. I mean, they're stacking up touchdowns like they've been stacking up wins recently.
Yeah, it's going to be Statesboro who gets the wins from 27-17.
Now, OC's Play of the Week, presented by OC Welch Ford Lincoln.
Is going to come from Bradwell Institute. Dominic Martinez is going to get it off of the tip for the interceptions, but the Tigers would fall tonight to Beach.
All right, our performance of the week goes to the Bethesda cheerleaders. All three of them. The score is 49-0. Are running a clock in the fourth quarter, and they are still cheering hard. Congrats, ladies. Well earned.
Ice up after the game. Now for our shot of the week. As you always say, of course it's me.
It's not no, of
quoting
course.
you on that, and it was the great touchdown coming from Richmond Hill. What a play.
All right, as we look ahead to next week, 2 games keeping an eye on: Effingham County and Statesboro, and Liberty County taking on Calvary Day. So we got 2 really big games next week. We got Statesboro taking on Effingham County. That will be for the region championship. And then you got Toombs County taking on Savannah Christian. That will be for the region championship. So it looks like the final week of the season is really living up to the hype.
Yeah, it seems like that's what this entire season has been building towards. I can't wait to see that one in the pit. Blaze Thomas and Savannah Christian. Now I think finally hitting their peak and really getting it rolling into playoff time.
And Beach has a chance to make the playoffs if they can win their last game. They upset Liberty County, who only had 1 loss in the region standings before this. So we'll see what they can do. All right, for Colby Zach, I'm Joey Lamar. Have a great night.